Today I'm going to try to draw this church tower in Valladolid, Spain, and a lot of yesterday's problems bleed over. It's still quite cold, sitting around 40 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 4 Celsius. I'm still getting warmed up after my short time away, though not literally. And what I see in my head is not what I see on the paper. That's pretty much always true. So yeah, overall not feeling fantastic about the state of things, but I am really happy to be out here drawing, as always. Even when a drawing doesn't end up looking very nice, I'm almost always still having a good time trying. And that's what I feel today. The sun came out a little bit. I have a beautiful reference, and really anytime I get to be in Spain is a good one. If I have time, I'll talk about it a little bit more. But if not, I'll definitely get to it tomorrow. For now, you'll notice that I got this one started by first building out a loose frame around the tower, made up of these 2 trees. On the right, I have a big, fluffy, vague-looking thing, and on the left, there's this sharp, branchy one. Once I feel like I've plotted their broad shapes well enough, I go right for the tower, and more specifically, the statue on the top. Once I got here, I was feeling pretty optimistic, actually. It's fine, there's nothing special about it, but I was just happy I could jump right into it without having to think too hard. After that, I basically just worked my way down the tower like I usually would, but that brought me back to reality quickly, like yesterday. I feel like I'm going into these drawings thinking that I can easily make them happen, but because of my time away, I can't be so casual about it. I have to build back some of that muscle memory, and only 2 drawings in clearly isn't sufficient. I also noticed that this one felt really long, even though it wasn't any longer than my average drawings, and I'm rushing through it. I didn't give myself nearly enough time to take it all in beforehand, and then the whole way through, I found myself wanting to move on to the next part. Needless to say, that rushing made for many anxious marks, and those don't feel very nice in the moment. And they also don't look very nice. So I kept wanting to go back over them to fix them, fix in quotes, which only leads to more of the same. And before I know it, I've stacked poor line after poor line, and it makes the drawing look messy and overall unconsidered, or over-considered, just in all the wrong ways. I'm still very much an amateur, and there's nothing wrong with that, but this one to me just screams unprofessional. But what about the good? I've gone over the negatives, but there must be some silver linings, right? Well, let me try to come up with some. I guess I'm content with the framing, for one thing. Even though a lot of the details and shading feel lost in the mess, there's still some compositional awareness that I've fortunately retained. The way the trees frame the tower looks similar-ish to the reference, so that's good. And speaking of, I think the tree on the right is good for what it is. I kept it mega vague, partly because I wasn't feeling confident enough to fully render it, but also because I genuinely thought it would look better. Maybe not better, but good. It was a stylized choice that I'm glad I went for. It pulls the eye through to the tower, which would have been really cool if the tower was nice to look at. On trees, the left one didn't hold up as well as the right. I feel like it probably would have been the easier of the 2 if I fully rendered them both. But this, half measure really let this one down. I didn't pay much attention to the shapes and the directions of the branches nearly as much as I needed to. So I have this weird, wave shape of a tree that's also too tall and way too uniform, and I don't think it plays well with the other 2 components, the tree and the tower. Again, that goes back to a number of things, and I'm just hoping that the next few days I can shake off some of the cobwebs and, get back to normal. So, yep, that's that. I think I've said everything I need to say for this one, but I'd love to know what you think, or if you have any tips or suggestions for me, I'd love to hear them, so leave a comment, and while you're at it, subscribe to the channel, and like the video, and share it, and everything else. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this one, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.